Now, wait a minute, because this Newport girls trip went from messy to emotionally dark real fast. Episode 7 of Rory is giving rendezvous and receipts because my plugged in friends, we need to talk. I'm the plug and the decoder. Y'all know I got the juice. Now let me catch you up so we can unpack this messy situation, which is episode 7. This is Side Eye and Sip, where we take a look, we pause. Oh baby, we reading between the lines, and then we're unpacking the mess. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Nicci Noir. This episode is giving us fake truces, childhood trauma, cheating evidence, video evidence, emotional breakdowns, haunted mansion energy, and a blonde woman getting her ass rubbed through a glass door, baby. Grab your popcorn, grab your wine, sit your ass down. Let's get into it. We don't just watch, we clock the behavior scene. A quick disclaimer, this is Side Eye commentary and it's for entertainment purposes only. All opinions and observations expressed are mine and they are based on publicly available content and alleged events. I do not personally know any of the individuals discussed. I'm simply observing and giving the situation the side eye it rightly deserves. Please do not use my content to attack or harass anyone. And remember, don't come for me unless I send for you. So the morning after the Rosie and Kelsey blow up, everybody wakes up emotionally hung over. Joellen is on FaceTime with Gary while he's getting the kids ready. And you guys already know I was looking for Jen in the background. So they're getting ready for school. They immediately start laughing about Kelsey and Rosie about that situation. So Kelsey climbs into bed with her and they unpack the night before and Kelsey's explosive argument with Rosie. And honestly, I love moments like this because it reminds you these women do actually have real friendships underneath the chaos. Meanwhile, Rosie is having a completely different morning. I'm talking about Rosie is nauseous. Rosie has spent the night throwing up. She is on the phone with Rich trying to unpack the situation, telling him, hey, they got into it. She feels that Kelsey attacked her entire life. The medical leave comments, the house comments, the square footage comments. Rosie has just had enough. She's had it up to here. So Rich, of course, supporting his wife, Rich says, baby, she has 0 square footage. Now, when I say, Rich, you ate with that one, I was like, oh, okay, because he's telling the whole truth. Now, this is where I started noticing something. Rosie is deeply affected by what people think about her, so much so it makes her physically and violently ill. Like, yes, she's defensive, but underneath that, she seems incredibly insecure. And honestly, Kelsey clocked that immediately. That's why I said, Rosie, if you're going to be like Joellen, you got to develop a thick skin. Now let's get to the tension at breakfast. It is thick. Rosie says good morning as they're sitting at the table. Nobody responds. That nobody meaning Kelsey. Ashley's stressed because baby Dawson is having breathing issues. Rulla still isn't answering calls. And Alicia is over there trying to host a healing retreat while everybody secretly hates each other. Then Alicia tries to mediate between Rosie and Kelsey. And honestly, I actually appreciated that she stepped in because somebody needed to stop this from spiraling out of control and into another screaming match. Because come on, these girls trips, can we really just have a girls trip where everybody just gets along? No, it's too much like right. But Kelsey was still standing 10 toes down on what she said. And baby, when Rosie called Kelsey a squatter, listen, Rosie was low-key eating. I don't care what y'all say. A squatter, because basically that's what it's giving. Now get your ass out that man's house. This argument stopped about friendship 5 episodes ago. Now it's all about pride. Now, Liz actually had one of the most interesting observations of the whole episode because she basically told Rosie, I think there's a real version of you underneath all of this chaos you got going on. And I actually agree. Now, listen, Liz, I'm going to say, is the Karen Huger. She is the matriarchal one out of this group because she's 56. She's lived life. She's clocking these women. Because listen, every time Rosie gets emotional or defensive, it feels less like anger and more like somebody terrified of being rejected. So Ashley, who loves herself some Rosie, she starts crying and she starts defending Rosie because she says she just needs nurturing and support. And honestly, Ashley is becoming the emotional support golden retriever of this group. I'm going to say of Rosie mainly. Meanwhile, Joellen and Kelsey are looking at Ashley like, girl, shut up and stand up and have a backbone. But what I actually loved is Kelsey eventually pulls Rosie aside privately. This is because Joellen told her to. There was no audience, no screaming. So there's no audience, no screaming, no group performance. And that conversation actually felt real. Kelsey admits her delivery can be harsh. You think? She's deflecting. Rosie admits she shuts down. Both admit they don't know each other well enough yet to communicate properly, so they've got to get to know each other. I think though, Kelsey, I think you're projecting, boo-boo. And honestly, it was refreshing seeing these two women try to form a little bit of a truce. So instead of it turning into a 6-episode screaming match. But I feel like this truce is going to be short-lived. Now, while all this is happening, Joellen and Alicia go off separately. And baby, this became the emotional core of the episode. Joellen is going to have that first seat next to Andy, I'm telling you. Joellen finally starts unpacking what really happened with her mother, the behavioral camps, the abandonment, the resentment, feeling overly sexualized as a child simply because boys liked her, because she had body, yada, 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 and her mama ain't know what to do with that or how to raise her. And when she revealed her mother gave partial custody away to the state while she was sent off to these facilities, it kind of explains why Joellen right now may be overly sexualized. She needs attention. This explains so much about Joellen. Listen, y'all can feel how y'all want to feel about her, but I'm loving me some Joellen. Her defensiveness, her fear of betrayal, her immediate need for emotional control. And honestly, Alicia surprised me here because she was actually listening instead of trying to dominate the conversation or ask for a cracker. I need my crackers. The two of them began bonding over terrible parents. Remember, Alicia's daddy walked out on her and her mother when she was 16. And Alicia admitted she doesn't want to get married because she always wants the option to leave. Her father left. And baby, that was real. So Alicia, thank you for giving us some realness into your situation. Meanwhile, the producers said, okay, enough with the healing. Let's get back to the mess. This is not Dr. Phil. Because we cut to Rulla at home looking like she is...
Finish up your pictures. We're gonna bring this up to mommy now, okay?
How you feeling?
How you feeling? How are you?
Hi, Pete.
How you doing?
I made this picture.
Oh my
I made
goodness.
this picture for you.
Oh my God, I love it. Thank you.
How you feeling?
So
Any better?
much.
fighting for her life while Brian is playing husband of the year. Rulla is going to keep that man in the house by any means necessary, even if she got... So Brian's fixing tea, kissing her forehead, which was weird and awkward. He's helping with the kids, and I'm sitting there like, this man is giving Lifetime movie. This looks like a whole ass Tyler Perry production, because on one hand, he's giving incredibly attentive. On the other hand, though, with all these cheating allegations following this man around like a ghost inside that Newport mansion, Brian, we got our eyes on you. We know you ain't nothing. We know you are foolish. We know it. And when Rulla jokingly said, maybe she has my husband's a cheater-itis, I think so. Rulla being sick, it's my husband is a cheater. That's what she's down sick with. That's that's what Rulla is down sick with. That's why Rulla wasn't on that trip. Now back to the mansion. The girls start flirting with the male butlers going down the giant water slide. And honestly, this was like the happiest everybody looked on this trip, even though Liz was like, listen, y'all can flirt with these young ass boys. I'm gonna stay in a room. But then Ashley has to leave because baby Dawson's breathing gets worse. And that, as a mom, made me sad. But Ashley, I love you. Kudos to you for leaving the girls trip and going to check on your baby, because you could tell she was really trying hard. She was trying hard to enjoy herself. But the fact that Ashley put her son first and said, you know what? My son is more important than this damn girls trip. But later on, let's get to the yacht scene. Here we go. Because somewhere the conversation turns into Joellen admitting she hooked up with Kelsey's ex years ago on a boat. Kelsey said it was on a boat. Joellen said it was on dry land. And there was another woman involved. So see, this whole thing with Joellen, it's giving. Her mother thought she was over-sexualized growing up. And this is giving us so much insight into Joellen and why she and Gary are doing threesomes and her need for emotional connection with everybody. This show, I'm trying to tell y'all, the other housewives, y'all need to clock in. Joellen casually told them, I was slutty in my 20s. Okay, ma'am. Oh, okay. So this yacht scene honestly felt like just a white girl wasted, drunken honesty tour. But underneath all the laughter and alcohol, the real storm was brewing, because later on that night, Liz walks in on Joellen looking stressed while she's staring at her phone. And baby, Joellen had receipts. Remember, she told at the polo match, I'm going to have some evidence for you. This is where the episode changed, because Rulla told Joellen, when Joellen told Rulla, I'll find proof, and she found it. And that's when she shows Liz the video through the glass door of Brian rubbing his alleged mistress's ass. So these allegations, they're no longer allegations, because Joellen has video proof, video evidence, handsy behavior, hands-on ass behavior, tongues in mouth behavior. And suddenly all the women are faced with this question, because all the ladies reconvene together where they talk about Joellen shows this video. So now the question is, who is going to tell Rulla? Because now this isn't gossip anymore. This ain't rumors. This is a real woman potentially being humiliated publicly while everybody around her knows the real truth. And honestly, I think Joellen finally realized this stopped being entertaining a long time ago. I really believe that. Now the ladies are deciding Alicia should tell Rulla because she's the closest to her. That's smart, and it's also very messy, because now Alicia gets dragged directly into a situation she's been trying to emotionally avoid this entire trip and all these episodes. She's been trying to steer clear Rulla and Brian's situation. And baby, something tells me episode 8 is about to be a beautiful, chaotic disaster. But my plugged in friends, I gotta know, would you tell Rulla if you saw the video? Would you sit with her to watch it? Or would you stay out of it completely, like this ain't got nothing to do with me? Because this group is starting to realize the truth just might destroy everything. And as always, baby, we take a look, we pause, and we are going to read between these lines and unpack the mess. I'm Nicci Noir. Thanks for joining me again for another episode of Side Eye and Sip. Continue to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I am so excited about episode 9. Also, to my 5 subscribers, thank you so much for joining the Plugged In community. And until next time.
Speak down to the cold, they stay plugged in, cause I got the juice. Watch me flip the switch, watch the charts accrue. Plugged in friends, we stay